Hey guys, hey. Let me go to the chat room. And I see you guys like already talking based on the title. And while I completely understand, I'm just gonna need you guys to um maybe listen first. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, because basically the title is just telling black women you can do both. Like you don't have to choose one thing or the other, you know. Um I didn't say that just because a man is Republican he's racist. That's not in the title. So before you guys make assumptions, and I think you guys should get better at doing this because this is kind of part of the reason why content creators have to make videos like this, because y'all jump to conclusions. And then, all of a sudden I'm seeing threads everywhere, when they don't need to be. Y'all just need to learn how to sit stuff out and see if you knew how to do that, black women, then I wouldn't have to make this video. I wouldn't have to show her picture, on a Facebook thumbnail. I could just stay on code and not say anything at all. But because black women made this huge fuss about this woman being married to a proud boy, then now we have to talk about it. You get what I'm saying? So this is part of the reason why I even have to do this, because you jump to conclusions and you just start commenting things based on your emotions in the title. Get out of your feelings for a second. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Can we hold the commentary until we hear the content? Exactly. And perhaps maybe I shouldn't have made my title so clickbaity. I don't know. But that's kind of what was on top of my head. It was just like, okay, well, black women are acting like we can't stay on code and also not vet men appropriately. And it's just a whole bunch of fake concern going on, which I want to talk about in this video. So, um I didn't mean to give that disclaimer, but y'all, it's ridiculous. Um but as you can see, I want to talk about the situation with the black woman who's married to one of the Proud Boys that stormed the Capitol last week. Um, and like I said in my last members only live stream, my year has just started off kind of rough, but I am in much better spirits. So I decided to do a video and finally give my thoughts on this. I know I'm late, but I'm always late, right? I'm always late. Plus, me being late kind of gives me time to look around and read the room and, get a feeling of what black women are talking about. Um, so this man in the thumbnail, Nick Ox, I think that's how you pronounce his name, or Ox. Yeah, Ox, I think. He was among the rioters that stormed the Capitol building last week. And to my understanding, he is the founder of the Proud Boys organization of Hawaii. And for those of you who don't know, the Proud Boys is a far right organization for men only. Now, they do claim that they're not a white supremacist organization. To my understanding, the leader of the organization is Afro Latino. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read that. And there are other non white men in the organization, there are black men in the organization. Um, but, I think we can all agree that you don't necessarily have to be white to uphold white supremacist or anti-black ideologies, in which this organization does, you guys. I think we can admit that. And they've also attacked black churches. And I'm not putting this on this woman's husband, but I'm just talking about the group. Okay. But they've attacked black churches, Black Lives Matter supporters, and y'all know where I stand. I listen, I have my own issues, my own criticisms of Black Lives Matter and the left in general. I'm not personally politically affiliated. I personally think it's in black women's best interest to be politically unaffiliated, at least publicly. I don't feel we should show any loyalty to either political party because neither are doing enough for Black women. So that's how I feel about it. But even though I have my criticisms of the left, I'm not burning Black Lives Matter flags or running up on Black churches and all of that nonsense that the Proud Boys have been doing. So when I look at their behavior, there's nothing to defend here, guys. Nothing to defend here. Again, I can't put that strictly on her husband, but I can't defend the overall behavior of the organization. It is what it is, and I honestly don't think it's a good look for any Black woman to be defending them just because some of them are married to Black women. It's certainly possible for a white person to be racist and still marry a Black person and have kids with him. I mean, that should be common sense at this point, vetting all races of men and not getting involved with white men who are racist should be common sense, you guys, because and I'll just be honest, when it comes to Nick, and I'm not saying he's racist, but when it comes to him, regardless of him whether he's racist or not, um it's not much different from having to deal with a Pookie going to jail, having to bail him out. He's getting felonies, getting misdemeanors, and she's gonna be a single mother, guys. And I see you guys saying as long as she's happy and being treated right, I don't care. I don't either. But she's still gonna be a single mother. I'm not dealing with no nigga that's going to jail. I'm not dealing with a white man that's going to jail. I'm not bailing people out of jail. Okay. Period. It's just indefensible in my opinion, you guys. I don't care if they're married or not. And I would have the same energy and the same standards for a Black man married to a Black woman. I don't want to deal with any man I got to worry about bailing out of jail. Okay. And this is coming from somebody who has dated a few hood dudes growing up, but I still never had to deal with, having to bail a nigga out of jail. Okay. And I'm certainly not going to deal with it, over the fence. Listen, ladies, you don't go from prison Pookie to prison Proud Boy. Okay. Absolutely not. No, we're not doing that over here. Okay. And they've been on divorce court before too. So clearly, I don't know. And some of you were saying that they are actors. So I don't know. Maybe they're seeking attention, but either way, there's nothing to defend here. So I'm not going to defend them. Okay. I'm not going to defend the Proud Boy. So if you came here for that, you're not going to get it. Now, with that being said, yeah, the ghetto, it is ghetto. I don't care what nobody say. Those white people who stormed the Capitol, they're ghetto. They're ghetto as fuck. I get why they're fighting for their country, but that shit was ghetto. It was. It is what it is. It's a mess. Okay. Now, with that being said, I do think all of these think pieces y'all doing, all of these, I mean, I'm on Facebook. I'm seeing sermons y'all writing on Facebook about interracial dating. I'm seeing long ass viral Twitter threads about this Black woman and her husband, about Black women dating interracially, and we need to vet all non-Black men. It's a little bit extra. It's a little bit extra, ladies, and it starts to look fake and it starts to look off code. It starts to look like it's a little weird. It's a little extra. Y'all. Y'all are so funny. I mean, I just, I get it. I mean, I feel like just a simple, like what I just said, what that took, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes of me just saying, hey, I'm not going to defend them, but whatever. I feel like that's how we should have handled it. Just like, oh, well, girl, it couldn't be me, but moving on. Next, what y'all doing? What y'all having for dinner? I just feel like enough of us know not to date racist white men. We know that already. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And right now, our image is being targeted politically. And I've talked about that before, in the videos about, hashtag stay home Black women, us being on the front lines. And I feel like we don't need to contribute to that. And again, Black women, you can avoid dealing with racist white men without outraging about other Black women dating what you perceive to be racist white men online, and yelling to the rooftops about well, this is the reason why I'll never swirl, and I only date Black men, and this is why, because it just it makes you look desperate, ladies, and it makes you look loyal to a fault. Even if you don't um realize it, because black men for the most part don't respond that way when a racist white woman is caught dating a black man. It's usually black women who are outraged, which again, it makes us look desperate. And I understand that black women, we like to be fair and balanced. I think we're naturally like that as women. We're just more fair and balanced. I used to be the same way when I first came on YouTube. Y'all know that. Those of you who have been rocking with me for a while. But we are fair and balanced to a fault. And I think that calling out racists, or what we think are who are racist that date black people, is something we should stop doing on both sides, because none of that, is going to change anything. I feel like, what do y'all think y'all are accomplishing from that? Are you think you're going to stop people from swirling? Is that what it is? You're not going to stop black men from doing it for sure. I mean, what you thought? Like, you thought that, telling black men that Jeannie Mai only prefers dark meat on the side, you think that's going to stop them from dating women like Jeannie Mai? Do you think that white or black women who, want to date white men are going to stop dating them? No, they're not. It's not. Like, what are you trying to accomplish here? It won't work. It won't work, guys. It won't work. And I know some of you will say, "Oh, well, just because black men don't call it out doesn't mean that we shouldn't call it out." But that's exactly why you shouldn't, because it makes you look desperate, for caring more about it than they do. It kind of just falls on deaf ears if it's just one side of the community outraged about it. You know what I mean? And this is not to say that you should be dumb like a lot of black men and date racist white people, because a lot of them are dumb. They dumb as fuck. Let's be honest. Um, But I'm sorry, black women, you look equally as dumb publicly declaring your loyalty to black men when this stuff happens, because they don't do it for you. You don't see them complaining about who is it, Soho Karen? That everybody's talking about Soho Karen right now. You don't see them complaining about her. I ain't seen no videos from black men on Soho Karen. Have you? I haven't seen any of them pop up. They're not applying Soho Karen to all white women. You know what I'm saying? They're just looking at her as one individual white woman, and that's it. They're not going into history lessons. They not talking about slavery. They not doing all that. They're not. So why are we? And again, I have to put this out there, because I know how black women think. Nobody is telling you to go out and date Proud Boys or white supremacists. But what you should do is refrain from professing your dedication to black men every single time a black woman dates or marries a white supremacist or a white dusty or a white nationalist or whatever you want to call them. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And I think that some black women have good intentions, you know. And some black women who are calling it out, they're not doing the whole fear mongering thing. So I'm not talking about those women. If you have a woman who says, oh, well, I'm not saying you can't date out, just vet all races of men. That's cool, as long as you're not making a big deal about it. I'm talking about the women who I see on Twitter. And I mean, I saw this thread, y'all. It had been viewed hundreds of thousands of times. And guess what? A black woman made the thread. Every single time I see these viral threads about these stories, it's black women usually who make the thread. I'm not saying that a black man wouldn't do it if we didn't, but it's always us. Oh yeah, Soho Maria. Yeah, because what did she say? She said, I can't be racist because I'm a woman of color. Girl, I can't take it. I can't take it. Oh, that ain't my fight. I don't care nothing about that woman. But I feel like even that, that's not a black woman's fight. I don't care nothing about that. That's black men can handle that on their own. You know? But nobody's saying you got to date racists or white supremacists or anything like that, or that you shouldn't date all races of men. Yeah, we know all that stuff already. But what you should probably do is stop giving history lessons, stop talking about slavery and fetishization and race play and pink peen and all that stuff every time this stuff happens. And see, I think what black women feel, I think we feel like it showcases how much you love yourself as a black woman. But I mean, well, it really doesn't. It only shows black men how loyal you are to them without requiring loyalty in return. You know, we don't need to outrage every time a racist white man, or who you think is a racist white man, is caught with a black woman to know not to date racist white men. You know that already. And there will be, like, let's be honest, there will always be black women who will date racist white men and dusty white men and trash white men anyway. Just like there will always be black women who date dusty black men. There will always be those kind of women, but most of you, when it comes to white men anyway, I think you know better. I would venture to say, and let me know if you guys agree with me on this. I would venture to say that black women are better at vetting white men than black men. I think we have maybe a vetting issue across the board sometimes, but I think we're a little bit better at vetting white men because we want black men more, so we tolerate more from them. Do you guys agree with that? So, when I think about that, it's like, how many reminders do you need? How many times do we have to, like, sing the song? Rhonda R, thank you for your donation. Don't fall for the okey doke. This is just another catalyst to prevent black women from their options. LOL, not stopping me. Exactly. And that's really what it boils down to. A lot of it's fake concern. I think did somebody else donate? I think I missed somebody else. Sorry about that. Low Bivens. I can't go up to see the other donation. But thank you to whoever that was. Um, But yeah, I so you guys agree with that. Okay. Okay. But cuz I feel like most black women, we know not to date racist white men. And I say that because it's constantly reinforced to black women by the black community not to date white men at all because because they're racist. Like we grow up with that conditioning. And for the most part we listen. We feed into that. We internalize that. We don't date them because that's one of the first thing that comes up aside from the lack of attraction. I think a lot of black women don't have for white men. Some black women do, but I think that it's one, the lack of attraction, and two, we think all of them are racist, which, let's be honest, a critical mass of them are. You get what I'm saying? So it's not far-fetched. But my point is, I think it's enough of them who aren't. But we're so scared to date them that we're not even willing to find out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So my point is, this one couple isn't going to undo that conditioning, in my opinion. You know? And again, I'm not going to act like there aren't a critical mass of white men who are racist, because there are, and I'm not going to pretend that dealing with them isn't dangerous, because it is. But I don't believe most black women in interracial relationships with white men are dating racist white men. I don't believe that, y'all. I don't. I would like to believe that. Oh, Queen, thank you. Most swirlers aren't dating racist white men. That's exactly what I just said. um, they need to stop trying to paint that narrative. Exactly. Exactly. And you know what's so funny? They try to get on us for the same thing. They'll say, "Oh, well, all black women think that, black women always say we only date one type of white woman, and we always date racist white women, or we always date this type of white woman." Well, it's y'all do the same thing to us. So, it's fair game. So I'm going to get up on here just like a black man would and be like, yeah, I mean, we should vet all men, but they're all individuals. Not all of them are like that. It's just one man. And to me, that's code. That's staying on code. And I feel like we need to get to a place where we don't be like, yeah, I wouldn't date a man like that. But anyway, what you doing tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? I feel like we need to get past the point of making a big deal about it. And obviously, and when we say that, I feel like most black women don't date racist white men. Obviously, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors with these IR couples, but the same can be said for black couples. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Just because a black man who's with a dark skinned woman, for example, and he doesn't appear to be colorist or he doesn't appear to be abusive, that doesn't mean he's not. But I'm not going to assume that just by looking at a black couple if I don't have any proof. Anything I've said about black men on this channel, it's because I have proof. I'm presenting the receipts to you. If I say he's colorist, it's for a reason, you know. And honestly, again, I'm just not about to keep reiterating that black women should stay away from racist white men because that's something we already do for the most part. But black people want to keep reminding us of this because they don't want us to entertain our options outside of black men, like we've been starting to do. And the evidence is everywhere. I mean, I'll look on all these swirl pages because I follow all of the swirl pages, and this is on my regular Instagram account, not the Chrissie account, but my private Instagram. But I follow all of the swirling pages. I follow the Black love pages. I follow all of it because I just like to see black women happy and getting married, and the proposals. I like to see all of that. And yeah, black women swirling it up. They are. They're swirling it up. Somebody get Edward out of here. Edward, the dust. We need a duster in this bitch. Get him out of here. God. The Dusties, you see how they just flock to the channel? Checks in the city. Thank you for your donation. Chrissy, what percentage of your viewers do you think actually practice your content, especially your femininity content, and that are willing to swirl with high value men of other races? What percentage? Ooh, I don't know. I would say maybe 50%. It's half and half. Because I know I got some black women who don't, aren't interested in swirling at all. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think it would be maybe half and half? Maybe 50-50, maybe 60-40? I don't know. But I see the evidence and I see y'all swirling it up. I see it. I see y'all black loving it too, but I'm just saying it seems like there's an uptick of swirling of black women exploring their options. And so that's what it's really about. They want to you think it's way higher? What, like 80-20? Okay. So y'all think most of the women here are swirlers? Is that what you're saying? Okay, 70-30, maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe you guys are right. But I think that's what this is really about. They're pressed because a lot of us are starting to open up our options, so they want to throw out these reminders. And you know what this is very similar to? This is very similar to black women constant and just black people in general, really constantly reminding black women of things that we already know, like when they say, oh, well, being feminine isn't only physical, it's a mental thing, it's an inner. I'm so tired of hearing that shit. We know already. We know. And most of the femininity channels that I've seen anyway, we always talk about the inner work. Tasha Mack, thank you. Goodbye, Edward. We're allergic to dust. Exactly. Thank you for your donation. Chrissy, did you see the shade room post from the white man? Oh, wait. It's going too fast. On why he don't date white women and only black women. No, I got to check that out. Somebody send it to me to askchrissie@gmail.com. Nature's Chill, thank you. I would say 50-50 because you're never really sure of almost exactly how many black women actually live by your content, Chrissy. Yeah, I would say that too. I would say that's what I'm saying, 50-50. And I think it would be different percentages for different things, like for femininity and swirling. Like I don't know. I don't know. But I would say 50-50. I mean, I get a lot of testimonials, guys, a lot. Emails and in the comment section. You guys tell me how you're losing weight, how you're dating high value men. Y'all send me pictures, which I don't want you guys to get harassed. So, I don't feel comfortable putting you on video and, showing the testimonials because y'all know how people on YouTube are. They pick stuff apart. I've seen how they do other content creators who post their testimonials, and I don't want to put you guys at risk like that. But on the new DDS site, which will be coming out this month, I will have a testimonial page for you guys. So we can, put all of your stories on the testimonial page because I get tons of them. So I know a lot of Black women are following the advice. But I don't know the percentage. Um, Yeah, I mean, people are getting engaged. It's crazy. Like I get so much good feedback. And I'm just like, yeah, this lets me know I'm on the right path. This lets me know, uh, you know, this is my purpose, part of my purpose. And it's not just Black women swirling or anything. It's, I get testimonials for all races of men. So, yeah. Y'all are so funny. But yeah, we already know, guys. It's all of this has been beaten in our head already for decades. For decades. Being feminine isn't only physical. You got to make your own money. You can't just depend on a man. You got to look for other qualities in a man besides money. We already know. It's been beaten in our heads since forever. And, Black people keep saying that kind of stuff because they want to keep our standards low. It's almost like a busy assignment. It's like a deflection. These, quote unquote reminders, they're like smoke screens. We already know that we shouldn't only rely on a man's money. We already know that we should vet non-Black men and not just date any old white man. And we already know that we shouldn't just date thugs and pookies and ray rays. We know that we shouldn't just date, a racist white man, or we shouldn't date one at all. We already know. We already know about the white men who just fetishize Black women. And we know about the Black men who fetishize Black women too. We already know. But my point is, it's becoming redundant. It's becoming redundant. And we can tell it's not based in any real concern, but it's instead based on you feeling some type of way about Black women not choosing a Black man. That's what this is about. And we can see it, y'all. It's obvious because you're too pressed. You're too desperate. It's weird. It's getting weird and creepy at this point. Shannon G, thank you. But could you black out faces and give fake names to show them? Is that not practical? If you guys would be open to that, I didn't even think about doing that. I guess I could do that if you guys would be open to that. Let me know. Yeah. Yes, it is fake concern, you guys. And again, I mean, ladies, you don't see Black men congregating on public platforms or social media platforms talking about how, white women are racist and this is why I don't date them. You don't see them going on and on about um, Karens to rub in other Black men's faces. They don't police each other like Black women police each other. You know what I mean? They just kind of stay quiet. And even if you notice, even when Black men do their little commentary videos on their failed IR relationships, like with Kanye and Kim Kardashian, or who else? Um, Dr. Dre, and whatever his wife's name is, I forget his name. Dr. Dre and his wife. It's like they'll never they barely even bring up race. They'll definitely never say, oh well, this is why I'll never date non-Black women again. They'll just warn their audience against female behavior in general and just keep it pushing. They'll just keep it pushing. Yeah, when these exoticals, as they like to call them, screw them over, um they don't use that to be like, oh, I'll never date them again. I'm gonna get me a chocolate sister. I'm only gonna date chocolate sisters. They don't do that. They don't do none of that. So, you know, and you another thing is you don't see black men calling out the black male Trump supporters or the black male Proud Boys. Did they call them out? You don't see Asian women publicly declaring how they won't date white men because of white supremacy, and most of them are white supremacists. You don't see Asian women doing that. And I'll acknowledge that the history is different with black people and white people. Okay, we do have a deeper history, but only one gender in the black community cares about it, and that's black women, and that's a problem. And it's not to say that you shouldn't care, you can't care about anything, but making a public fuss about it is unnecessary. That's what I'm saying. Especially when black women who date out are in the minority. Like, it's not, and for those of you who think it's so hard to stay on code in this regard, and you can't keep quiet, and you just have to say something, and you have to be fair, and you have to call out both sides equally, you really need to ask yourself why that is. You probably need to unpack that, because it shouldn't be that hard to stay silent sometimes, unless you're still kind of invested on, trying to prove something to black men, or, prove that you down, and you know that it's ridiculous. Yana Mazation, thank you for the sticker and the donation. Thank you. Um, it shouldn't be that hard to stay silent sometimes. And to be honest with you, I don't feel this outrage. Again, it's like, it's not real. It's not. And a lot of black women in particular, I see them talking about, oh, well, I'm worried about the baby. And what about, because, she has a son, this woman who's married to this proud boy. And, they're like, oh, the baby boy, and oh, the kids. And you know what I'm saying? Nature's Chill already explained who the Proud Boys are. They're a male only far right organization. You can just look them up. I mean, yeah. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of tired. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm a little bit tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. But what? Girl, okay, do I need to change the title, cuz I don't know what you guys aren't comprehending. Are you listening? Are you listening? I didn't say he was trash because he's a Trump supporter. I didn't say that. But yeah, I keep seeing people say, "Oh, what about the baby?" And poor baby. And I just, this goes back to what I said about your fake concern for black women's children, because y'all do the same thing, with when it comes to dark skinned women dating out and having mixed children. You'll say, oh, well, what about the kids and colorism? And I got several videos on that, and y'all don't care about them kids. You don't care about, like, you don't, because you don't care about the dark skinned kids that you have that experience colorism. So like, what would make me believe that you care about the light skinned ones that experience colorism? This boils down to you caring about a black woman giving her womb to a non-black man. That is really what this is about, because you don't care about the children any other time. You don't care about the children of black women any other time. The only time you seem to care is when the father is not a black man. Because anytime we bring up what your black children experience, particularly your black girl children who experience abuse and colorism from black men, you make excuses for black men. Anytime we bring up the R. Kellys of the community, y'all make excuses for those men. But you're most outraged about the minority of black women who get with white supremacists. And that's how we know you don't really care about the kids, because the reaction isn't the same. The reaction isn't as visceral. It's not as serious. It's not as urgent. The reaction is very passive. And it's not cohesive either. Like, black women come together on it. Like, we are united on this issue. Have you noticed that, y'all? We're very united on this particular issue. When it's about white men dating white men, we are like, most of us be like, nah, girl, we are so united on this. It's a very cohesive, unified thing when it comes to this. And thank you, Shannon, for your donation. And I'm thinking, like, imagine if Black women were this united when it comes to other things, more important things like corrective promotion, right? Or staying on code, or, exclusivity, and, putting our image first. Imagine if we were that united when it comes to um, other things. Imagine how much our image would improve. Imagine how far we would be if we were on code like Black men and we were women first, like they are men first. Just imagine, right? But we're all over the place, and I got some videos coming out about it. Like, I just, I've been on my little hiatus, but I've also been, like, jotting down video ideas. And, just with everything that goes on, Black men are so on code, y'all. Like, they be so on code when it comes to pushing back against Black women in ways that we don't even realize. Like, your favorite persuasion, shout out to her. She pointed out to me, like, with the whole average at best thing, like, do you realize how many Black men came together on that? You had blue collar Black men, you had dusties, you had some high value Black men in the mix. Not many, because we know not many of them frequent these conversations. But you had Black men of all walks of life come together and unify on that one issue to go up against that one Black woman. They are so on code, y'all. And that's one thing we can take from them. That's one thing we can learn from them. They be on code like a mug. But Black women, it, no. If we slightly more cuter than the other woman, we got a better figure than the other one. Be like, ain't that bitch? I look better than her. Fuck that. Anyway, yeah, that bitch. Fuck her. She ain't shit. He ain't talking about me. But you got Black men from Black men who make 10,000 a year all the way up to 60,000, and they all came together on that issue. You got ugly Black men, cute Black men. They come together when it comes to pushing back against Black women. They come together, honey. They don't play that. They don't play that shit. And everybody else does. Everybody else does too. White people, white women, even mixed women come together. Even light-skinned mixed women. The only ones that ain't doing it is us. Dark-skinned Black women. We're the only ones. Unambiguous Black women. We the only ones. And it's disturbing. And honestly, it's kind of embarrassing, honestly. It's embarrassing. We're only united when it comes to, like, race. Like, when it comes to, like, dating outside the race and fighting white supremacy and being on the front lines and being Wakandan warriors. That's the only time we're united. So I don't believe a lot of you truly care about the kids or this Black woman. I really don't. I think your real concern or your real reason for being outraged with this situation is because of this white man. If he was Black, y'all wouldn't care. If he was a Black Trump supporter, y'all wouldn't care. It might be a little talk here and there about it. Like, y'all might call him a coon or something, or call both of them coons, and you would move on. And that would be the end of it. But, it's because this woman is with a white man, and you can't make me believe otherwise. You can't. And like I always say, I do recognize that all groups kind of hyper focus on interracial dysfunction as opposed to intra-racial dysfunction. Even white women do this to some extent, right? But the difference is they have an entire system in place to protect them. So they actually benefit from defending their men. For the most part, they do. Black women don't. And, to those who want to bring up the white women who got, or the white woman, how many white women died at the Capitol insurrection? Like, was it one white woman or was it two? I know one definitely got shot because her dumbass tried to climb through a broken window with her dumbass. And you notice how masculine those women were? We'll come back to that because I want to talk about that too. I want to touch on that. Very masculine, but they're still trying to, like, make them more feminine than they are in the media. It's a lot going on. Y'all. I've been peeping a lot with this whole situation. So it was one. Okay, I know one of them, the one, because they got her on camera. Oh, one Becky died. Okay. One got trampled. Okay. Is the one who died that was trying to climb through the window, is that the one who got shot by a black police officer? Yeah, I saw the one that got maced. Did y'all see that where she was crying? Oh, we got to pull up that video because that shit was funny as hell. I was like, she, she was like, I got maced. And they were like, well, why did you go up in there? She was like, well, we were storming the Capitol and it's a revolution. I was like, oh my God, girl, I can't. I gotta, I gotta pull up that video because that shit was funny. Your favorite persuasion, thank you. This is why now you see black women joining black men to drag Lori. No one did it to J Lo when she was doing the same in 30s, early 40s in her community. But that's a good point. We'll talk about Lori in another video. I got some thoughts on that. I got several thoughts on that. Okay. But you're right though. You're right. But yeah, I said, look at this Karen, trying to turn into a docile little sweet little flower after she didn't, stormed her ghetto ass up into the building, and then you got maced, and then you want to cry, you want to turn into a Karen. Girl, does that look familiar? I ain't trying to be funny, but that's what y'all Wakandan warriors be doing. Soon as you get maced, as soon as you get pepper spray, you turn into a whole female. You was bout it at first, and then you get pepper sprayed, and then I'm like, y'all, no ma'am, no ma'am. Okay, somebody donated. Nature's Chill, thank you. That woman probably is actually living her best life, unaware of all of these conversations, think pieces, and Black Twitter been talking about her for nearly a week straight. You know what? You're probably right. Yeah, they were saying she didn't get maced. Yeah, because they were saying she had an onion in her hand, but I thought the onion was to clear out the eyes. Is that a thing, girl? I don't know, but I was just like, no. Them women been on the news looking bad. They've been looking real bad, and we're gonna talk about that because listen. Let me tell you, me and my sister was clowning them. We was clowning, but anyway, yeah, they've been looking real masculine, real bad. All the Becky warriors then came out looking real bad. We're gonna pull up some pictures too. But my point is just to circle back around to what I said. White women, they can afford to be out there. They have an entire system in place to protect them. So they actually benefit from defending their men. And to those who want to bring up, oh, well, the white woman got shot and white men weren't protecting her, and they had those women on the front lines and they were fighting with the men. And, people, the pro-blacks especially, are going to make this comparison to black women being on the front lines, but it's not the same. And I'm going to tell you why. One, as a rule, white men don't celebrate their women fighting on the front lines with them. So it's a false comparison in that sense, especially when you consider that black men, for the most part, promote the women that they deem less desirable to be on the front lines. We talked about that. Was it dark-skinned gentlewoman? What did you say? Black women for labor. What is it? Dark-skinned women for labor, light, bright, and white for love. Yeah, that's what black men do for the most part. They promote women they deem less desirable to be on the front lines and in the trenches and in the struggle, which are usually unambiguous dark-skinned black women. Then when it's all over, when the revolution is over, or when it's, at a halt, when it's on pause, right? They put us away and then grab the women they do deem desirable, which are generally light-skinned women, unambiguous black women, right? Unambiguous light-skinned or mixed women, right? Or I'm sorry, ambiguous mixed women. They grab them when it's time to date or promote a love interest. So I'm sorry, y'all. The pro-blacks, that's a weak argument. You can't compare the few white women who got on the front lines, who white men also find most desirable, who they also promote, who they also, make as beneficiaries to their patriarchy. You can't compare that to black women being on the front lines. You can't. It's not equal. It's not the same, right? And furthermore, they're literally making that white woman who got shot a martyr as we speak. As we speak, the far right extremists, you think they ain't planning a retaliation for that, or a terrorist attack on her behalf? I don't want to say too much. I don't want them to shut down my shit, but let's be honest. You know what's going to happen. They are making her a martyr, like a hero, elevating her I'm seeing her everywhere, that woman. Right? And I'm not saying, that's a reason to go out there and sacrifice yourself and get killed, because she died for Trump. That was stupid. It was stupid. Right? I'm just pointing out the differences. Listen, Becky warriors are martyrs and heroes, and Wakandan warriors are hashtags. Heroes versus hashtag. Apples to oranges. Okay? Weak argument. Weak argument. Very, very weak argument. It don't add up. So, once again, black women get nothing out of the deal from being on the front lines for black men in this community. Black women get nothing. Yeah, they use the hashtag say her name for yes. A mess. And I'm going to bring up this article if I can find it, where they're actually, again, they're in the media like talking about, oh, she's a beautiful martyr, and women soften the edges of the far right. I mean, they're making these women into innocent little angelic children. It's crazy how they're doing it. Crazy. Y'all need to peep game. Y'all need to pay attention to what they're doing with the white woman's image. I'm gonna come back around to that though. But we get nothing out of the deal from being on the front lines. We get nothing from, saying how, oh, we're going to stay loyal to black men because white men are X, Y, and Z. Even if you feel that way, black women, you don't have to say it. Yeah, beautiful martyr. That's what they called her. But even if you feel that way, you don't have to say it. And to me, that's code. And, I know that black women in interracial dating, is still kind of rare. So a lot of you aren't used to it. So when you see this kind of stuff, with this woman and this Trump supporter, it's kind of shocking to you. But I just want to remind you that there are, black Trump supporters. There are, it is what it is. We got donators. Hold on. Or donors. Fatmata. I'm sure I probably said your name all wrong. I'm sorry. What do you mean we should be women first before black? Meaning we should put our womanhood first. We should put our sex over our race, our issues as women over our issues being black. That doesn't mean you can't identify as a black woman. But yeah, you should be a woman first. Think about, and the easiest way to do this is when a situation happens, think about, how does this affect me as a woman? How does this affect me as a black woman? Answer both of those questions separately. How does this affect me only as a woman? And then answer the question, how does this affect me as a black woman? And the first answer should be what you lead with. Divested zealot, thank you. Dusty pro black men always compare themselves to the white man until it's time to protect or pull out that wallet. Ignore mode activated. Exactly. And I'm pretty sure you're the one with the Facebook, right? Girl, I follow your Facebook, and those posts have me cracking up. But yeah, I follow your Facebook page. Oh, Ramlad. Love you. Thank you for your donation. Yeah, y'all go follow Divested Zealot, because she really catches on to a lot of things. Yeah, but she's right. She is so right about that. Did somebody else donate? Hold on. Oh, hey, my name is. Thank you for joining the Neptunians. But she's right. It's like black men always do that. They compare themselves um to white men until it comes to, economics, right? And building and finances. And then love to compare us to non-black women. And it's like, okay, well, if you want us to be more like non-black women, you got to be more like non-black men. I mean, you can't get around it. The pendulum swings both ways, homie. It does. Um, so it is what it is. But, what I was going to say is I feel like black women should understand that. Oh, Divested Zealot has a channel. Okay, I'm subscribing. I'm subscribing. Um, but there will always be Trump supporters, black women who support Trump, black men who support Trump, and there will even, even if it goes beyond supporting Trump or, being conservative or whatever, there are going to be outright coons too. There's going to be bad apples all the time. Some black women and black men are going to be straight up anti-black. And with the uptick of interracial dating among black women, ladies, you're going to see the good relationships as well as the bad relationships. You're going to see the dysfunctional relationships. You're going to see the divorce rate go up among black women in interracial marriages. It's inevitable. But just like you don't outrage every time it's a black man who gets divorced to a black woman, or who does something to a black woman, or who abuses a black woman, just like you don't outrage every time about that, you can do the same thing when it's a white man. Y'all need to get in the mindset that all men are equal. Like, you need to treat all men the same. That's what black men do. They pretty much put all women on an equal playing field. We not any more special than them white hoes. we all hoes to them. Okay. All I'm saying is that they don't compartmentalize like that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, get the Trump trolls out of here. We don't want that. We don't want that. And speaking of that, the gag is these black women who are dating racist white men, they're not much different from y'all black women who choose the wrong black men, if you think about it. Just like I said earlier about, dating a prison pookie or a prison proud boy. What's the difference? What's the difference? And it's funny because a lot of these pro black love chicks, they'll say all the time, they'll throw shade at the level up community and the women on here who have courses, level up courses and stuff, and they'll say, well, I don't need no course to get a man. I don't need no book to attract a white man or men in general. I can attract them on my own. But sis, why you got a black dusty to father your children? It seems like you do need a book to learn how to vet men. If you a 2 and 3 time baby mama to low value black men, maybe you should read a book on how to vet a man. Maybe you should enroll in a femininity course or listen to more videos about vetting men, because your track record is terrible, sis. It's bad. It's real bad. So, what black women seemingly need to be warned about is dating dusty black men and colorist and abusive black men, because that's who we have a hard time staying away from, not racist white men. I mean, can we be honest about that? Can we be honest? I'm looking at some of these comments and I'm like, y'all talking about desperate black women? Oh, yeah, desperate for a white man? I'm like, really? Because I thought we was desperate for black men. I don't see a lot of desperation for non-black men. I'm just being honest. I really don't. You may have a few comments here and there, but let's not try to act like they're the majority, because they're not. Most black women are desperate for black men. They're desperate for black men. And it's irritating to me how some people are pretending that, every time this stuff happens, it's like they want to paint all divestors, and I'm not a swirling channel or a divesting channel, but a lot of you guys are here because I agree with a lot of the ideologies, so all of you are welcome here. Women who date out, women who date black men, whoever you date, you're welcome here. you know, but I do agree with a lot of the ideologies. So I understand why they put me in that category. But I know that it seems like anytime this happens, it's like they want to throw all divestors and swirlers in this, oh, we're so delusional, and all of us who are dating out or who are seeking to date out are not vetting these non-black men. And I'm sorry, but I really strongly believe that black women do have higher standards for white men. I do. And I just feel like it's a little weird to me that you don't have higher standards for the men who look like you. You should have higher standards for your own men. Not white men. They don't owe anything to you. White men don't owe anything to black women. So who cares if they don't who cares? Hold on. Genesis, she says, why are you calling black women on the right bad apples and saying you don't have a problem with different political views? Seems very disingenuous. I didn't say. I need you guys to work on your listening comprehension skills. I said there are black women who are on the right or conservative. And I also said there are black women who flat out are anti-black. I separated those two. I need you guys to listen. I didn't say that all conservative black women were anti-black or were bad apples. That is not what I said. That's not what I said. Please listen carefully. I clearly separated those two. Lord, I mean, I get so sick of you guys twisting my words. This shit is so annoying. You have no idea. It's so irritating. And you're a supporter, which is great. You're a member, but if you're not going to listen and you're going to twist my words, I need you to go ahead and terminate your membership. I don't need your money that bad, because if you're going to come over here and twist my words, you don't need to be here. Nefessa Kennedy, thank you. Have you thought about writing a book compiling all of your content on this channel and your femininity channel? I'd buy it. I get that request often. I don't know. That it feels overwhelming to think about that, to think about writing a book. Tia W, thank you for your donation. Girl, you preaching tonight. Thank you. But yeah, I didn't say that. But I will say this. Caping for a proud boy, it does look desperate, black women. They're not anybody to defend. Okay? Looks desperate. It does. But on the flip side, I do believe there's also some desperation with these anti-swirl, anti-divestment black women who are almost obsessed with us. It's creepy. It's weird. It's weird at this point. And they focus on the minority of black women who get with racist white men, and they try to paint us with this broad brush. It's weird, bro. Y'all know it's weird. And I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of these pro-black black women either have a terrible track record with black men. Most of them are with Dusties. They have babies by Dusties, low value men, low quality black men. Yet they're telling other black women what kind of white man to choose. Make it make sense, y'all. It doesn't make sense at all. Those are the loudest ones, the ones who have Dusties as baby fathers. It's weird. And it points to a deeper issue. And what's so strange is that they think we're jealous of them. Girl, I don't want your life. I promise you that. I put that on my mama's life. I don't want your life. There's nothing to be jealous of, babe. Keyring 86. Thank you. Chrissie is definitely an INTJ. No patience for nonsense, girl. And I feel like my patience is getting a little bit shorter. I'm trying to work on that. It's very irritating though. Very irritating. I mean, when you've done this for almost 6 years now, and you have so many years of people twisting your words and not listening, and I know it comes with the territory, but it's very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. Yeah, they think we jealous. And another thing I've been noticing, like, some of these pro-black chicks who are anti-swirl, anti-divestment, they're always, talking about us, talking about me in their videos. A lot of them I notice are on the lighter skin side too. So they take me having a problem with them as like a problem with me having a problem with them um being light skinned. And I'll just say this real quick. A while back when I got into it with a couple of content creators, one of their little peon groupie bitches, which is a lighter skinned woman, she said I was mad because one of the other women was light skinned and I'm jealous and ugly and I want to be her. And that was what was my real issue. And this woman, and listen, I'm not trying to be funny, y'all, but this woman I supposedly want to be like is just a regular looking light skinned woman, nothing really exceptional about her, which is fine. But if you're going to accuse me of being jealous of someone, like, you have to have the life I want. If I'm going to be jealous of you at all, you have to have the life I want. You have to have the kind of man I want. You should at least be above average looking, and you need to have the life I want. And I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but I ain't trying to flex on my friends, but I have, light skinned female friends that are far more attractive, far more accomplished, have far better men that I would never lash out on just because they're light skinned. Those are some of my closest friends. So, no, if I have a problem with you, it's not because you're light skinned, it's because you did something I felt was foul, or you said something I didn't like, or you did something I felt was wrong, or you crossed me in the wrong way. And I've talked about this before, but a lot of light skinned women have this, self aggrandizing attitude. And if a dark skinned woman has any valid criticism or gripe with them, they immediately accuse the dark skinned woman of being jealous of them. No, sorry, but no. If I was going to be jealous of anybody, it would not be you. And listen, I'm not saying it doesn't go on, but many times a dark skinned woman doesn't like you. And this is to all the light skinned women who think, dark skinned women, anytime they criticize you, they're jealous of you. Many times when a dark skinned woman doesn't like you, it's because you're actually a shitty person. Has nothing to do with your skin tone. Okay. Just like y'all tell dark skinned women, oh, it's not always your skin. Sometimes you're just ugly. Well, the same applies to light skinned women. Sometimes it's not jealousy. It's because you did something wrong or you have a shitty disposition, you know? And if you aren't actually on, an exceptional light skinned woman, then you really need to come down off your high horse because nobody's jealous of you. And a lot of times what happens is that these average and below average looking light skinned women are riding the coattails of above average looking light skinned women. And because of colorism and black men in the media elevating light skinned women, they it's like their heads get gassed up and they think they're on par with the exceptional looking light skinned women. And they think everybody's jealous of them when they have valid criticism of them. And they're extremely arrogant for no reason. And it's the same as these, average and below average dark skinned men who overvalue themselves because they identify with the celebrity dark skinned men that are actually cute and elevated in the media. They develop this, superiority complex from the, by proxy validation they get from their media representation. This is why I always say the media is very powerful. Very, very powerful. So no, not jealous of you. Not jealous. And I open myself to that kind of criticism too because I tell the truth about light skinned women. Because one of them, she accused me of being intimidated or scared of light skinned women. But these same women are scared to be honest about light skinned women's role in perpetuating colorism. And they're actually siding with colorist light skinned women because they don't want to look like a hater. So who's intimidated by light skinned women? Who's scared of light skinned women? Me or the person playing nice with colorist light skinned women or coddling them for their approval? Or for black male approval or for the black community's approval. So you won't look like a hater. No, you're actually scared of light skinned women, not me. That's you. That's you. I'm not scared of light skinned women. I'm just telling the truth about them. But no, I'm tired of these. And I made a video about this a while back about mediocre light skinned women who accuse dark skinned women of jealousy. I'm like, girl, have you looked in the mirror? Woo. And they think you jealous of their life. And they got, 3 and 4 out of wedlock kids from Dusty's. Girl, I can't take it. It's the weirdest shit ever. I don't know. I don't know if it's a black community thing where y'all think that, child, I don't know. But let's move on. Let's move on. But anyway, these women, a lot of them, and I'm not saying all of them, some of them have valid criticism. Some of the pro blacks have valid criticism about black women who swirl. A lot of them do. Some of them do, but some of them are just salty because black women are swirling, or because they ended up with a dusty or something like that, or because maybe they feel bad about their situation. But I haven't dated a non-black man in years. Years. I've been with a black man for a very long time, or dating black men for a very long time. So, I don't feel offended by, the content that, or the criticisms that a lot of black women have about black men. I don't personalize it, because that's not my man, you know? So I don't understand. If you don't have a dusty, then why are you upset with what we say? Why are you, mad about it? That's what I understand about these pro-black chicks and these anti-divestors. I don't get it. Big Talk Bougie Walk podcast. Thank you. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. At the end of the day, those ladies were provided, protected, and produced for. Pick-me's are not qualified to scrutinize divestment. Love your channel, sis. Yeah, and I understand what you guys are saying about that. But being protected and provided for is not enough. It's not enough. It has to be a little bit more than that. And again, if he's going to be locked up because he stormed the Capitol building, like, what use to her is he? So, I don't necessarily agree with that either. Princess Z, thank you. Why are so many people triggered by black women making better decisions for themselves? Who wants a 7-time baby daddy or living subpar? Exactly. But I do agree with what you said, Big Talk Bougie Walk. I do agree with what you said at the end. Pick-me's, and not only pick-me's, but just black women who got caught up with dusties and actually have kids, 2, 3, 4 baby mamas. You really are not in the position to scrutinize divested women and swirling women. You're not when you made them kind of mistakes. You're not. GL Morticia, thank you for your donation, your sticker. Thank you. Mika K, the designer 2021. Hey Chrissie, so I'm gonna need an update on DDS magazine. I said it earlier, it's gonna be relaunched this month. I can't wait. I'm excited. Wait, who's scared? Who said what? What y'all in here talking about? What is a girlfriend doing? Why do you keep having to block her? Your favorite persuasion? Yeah, but my point is here, I feel like a lot of those women reach because, whatever we say over here triggers them. I think because of their own personal situation, which is understandable. I get it. We all have feelings. But most black women who are listening to divested messages or femininity content or content on how to vet men aren't choosing dysfunctional men. I really don't believe that. And the detractors, I feel, know that. They're just salty about black women swirling. So they have to make it seem like most black women in spaces like these, like, they'll take a few comments that I read and be like, oh, that's all of them over there. It's not. Most of y'all ain't gonna date no racist white man. Most of y'all don't want a proud boy. And I'm not gonna sit there and date one. Oh, it said Chrissy, she's arguing about Trump in here. Oh, okay. I'm not going to sit here and take one comment from their channels and be like, oh, this is all the women over there. I don't do that. But they do that because they're desperate. They're pressed. And that comes from something. That comes from some underlying feeling of inadequacy, I feel like, anyway. So they're trying to diagnose me and talk about how I feel inadequate because light skin, and I'm just light skinned and I have, issues with a certain type of woman. You need to check yourself. You need to figure out your own internalized issues because you got them too. Look in the mirror, diagnose yourself while you're diagnosing me. How about that? Diagnose yourself before you start diagnosing divestors and swirlers. Look at your own mess of a life first. Because that's not looking good. You looking bad. Real bad. But listen, guys, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry, but the shaming and fear mongering is not going to work. The black women who want to date out, they're going to date out. Nothing you can do to stop it. This won't make black women who have already made up their minds about dating out want to date black men again. This ain't gonna make them want to be pro black again. It's not. And to be honest, I think black women on this side should stop giving in and trying to prove ourselves to these anti-swirl black women, these, pro black male, black male identified type chicks. Stop trying to reason with these pro black women because they're not going to change. Stop going under their Twitter threads and trying to explain you and your relationship, with your white man and all that. Stop doing that. They aren't the authority on your life decisions or your decision to date out. Black women, you can date out for whatever reason you want to date out. If it's because you just want to open your options and try something new, fine. If you're dating out because you no longer are interested in dating black men, that can be your reason as well, as long as you vet the man properly. As long as you're not bringing any past trauma into your relationship. But nobody gets to determine the reason that you date out. Not other black women and not the black community. The black community especially has no say in where dark-skinned black women go, because you don't show any real concern about us until we show up with a white man. So I'm sorry, but we don't believe you. And you have no say. If this woman on the thumbnail, if she is a self-hating dark-skinned woman that, wants to breed herself out, then ask yourself why. Ask yourself if the colorist black community might have something to do with that. But see, black people, you're not ready for that conversation. Not even the pro-blacks are ready to have a honest conversation about that. They just want to blame the white man. So again, you have no say in our decisions and why we make them, because you can't even be honest with yourself about colorism. You still scared to call out light-skinned women. You talking about how dark-skinned women compete, but we need to compete, but somehow we're supposed to not compete with light-skinned women. I mean, you're just not making any type of sense. So it's like, until you're ready to have that honest conversation, you have no say in what we do. You have no say in who we give our wombs to. You have no say. If we don't want to have black children, that's our choice. That's our choice. If we decide not to have children at all for this community, that's our choice. Black people ain't going extinct no time soon. Y'all still pushing out black babies. I see them all the time on DDS. I see them all the time. Y'all ain't going nowhere. Vesta Nix, thank you. I don't negotiate with fimps and pick-me's. Live and let live. Exactly. But, we can work out all the issues we have with dating white men and having mixed children, the self-hate, everything. We can work that out on our own time. You don't get to tell us when we have to talk about some shit. Just like we have to deal with the bullshit we have to deal with when it comes to dating black men and having black children. We can discuss all of that and vetting white men, vetting black men. We can do that on our own time. We don't have to run it by you. We don't have to. Every time something like this happens, we don't have to publicly say anything. We don't have to acknowledge shit for you. We don't. We bring it up when we want to. How about that? And, a lot of black women, I'll admit, a lot of us are unfamiliar with dating out. Because a lot of that's part of the fear mongering too. Y'all don't know what y'all getting into. Y'all listen. I get it. I get the concern. Again, I think it's fake concern, because it's really anybody who has dated out before, which I'm sure most of you, including myself here, a lot of you already have. It's not as complicated as a lot of people are making it seem. It's not. So again, the fear mongering. It's like, but even the black women who are new to it and who are a little green and who are a little naive to it, they'll figure it out in spaces like these. We got them. We making sure they vet men appropriately. You ain't saying nothing new that we ain't already said. So you don't dictate what we do or when we do something over here. You don't run nothing over here. Thank you, your favorite persuasion. Thank you, boo. Dee Dee, thank you. Love you. Love you, boo. Tell them. Ronnie, thank you for your donation and your sticker. Thank you. So, this is just a reminder for black women to stay on code, and you can do that and also not deal with proud boys and racist white men. It's not hard to do both. You can do both. It's not that serious as what they're making it seem. You can do both. You can stay on code and be pro black woman and still not date a racist. It's not hard to do. Most black women are not dating racist white men. So black women, stop letting these people scare y'all and fearmonger you. So let's talk about these masculine Becky warriors. I want to get into that. um how long have we been on here? Dang, already an hour and 14 minutes. Okay. So y'all know the incident that happened a few days ago. Um, it was a black woman. Dang, I wish I would have came more prepared. I should have wrote some notes on this, but it was a black woman who this happened a few days ago where a black woman was jumped by a group of Trumpsters after a rally in Los Angeles. Do y'all remember her name? If you remember her name, put it in the comment section. Um, Princess Z, thank you. You're right, Chrissy. No one is questioning why. I was on Facebook and I noticed a lot of my dark skinned black woman classmates are married to non-black men. I was thinking why. Listen, they ain't waiting no more, especially these young girls. I want to talk about that too in the video. These young girls, listen, they ain't gonna have these problems that we had, like a lot of us have. A lot of the some of the millennials, but definitely the Gen Z, like they're like it's in the future it's not going to be a real need for channels like mine because they're listen, they're going where they're celebrated, they're dating out, they're not waiting on black men, they see the writing on the wall. You know, they're on TikTok looking at what these black boys are doing. They're like, okay, well shit, fuck it, if you open your options, I'm gonna open mine. It's not even a thing for them. Big Talk Bougie Walk podcast. I wonder if they have the same energy for Black Love, aka Clarence Thomas, and his white wife's support for racist political associations. Is the hypocrisy for me. Exactly. And it's a lot of Black Love dudes and pro Black dudes that are married to white women. A lot of them. They ain't talking about, you know, oh, well, what about they kids? What about the kids? They ain't saying none of that. Okay, Berlinda Nebo. Yeah, her. So, yeah, she was jumped by a group of Trumpsters after a rally in Los Angeles. They pulled her wig off and everything. And to my understanding, she ran into them while she was walking home and they began harassing her. You know, they told her to take off her mask. They started asking her if she voted for Trump. And you know, she told them no, and she said she gave them the finger. Then they began following her. So she pulled out her phone and you know they started to swarm her. They slapped her phone in her face and you know started pushing her around. One of the women who I think she tore her wig off. She was this big, you know, well not big, but just this masculine queen pin looking white bitch. Listen, I gotta pull up this picture because y'all, when I tell you these women were out there looking so masculine and so greasy. I said, this thing, they would never allow this to be the main image for black or for white women. They would never allow these women to represent. I'm getting these pictures for y'all. They would never allow these masculine, aggressive, crazy ass white women to represent the white woman's image. They would never do it. And that's the main thing. You know, one of the main things I took from that situation. I'm like, look at these burly, ghetto ass white women. And, you know, it's not surprising or anything because I grew up with some of those, you know, she looked like a queen pin. I'm about to show you what I'm talking about. Cause y'all, she got, I mean, body full of tattoos. I said, what is going on? And you know, a lot of these, and I'll tell you why, because a lot of these white women who showed up to the Capitol are, you know, just a lot of poor working class white people and white women who frankly are, you know, just mad at the elite white people. You know, they're out of work, they're struggling. You know, I think the girl who, what's her name, the girl who jumped through the window, the white woman, it said that she was a veteran, and she actually, was struggling to keep her business afloat. So these are just a lot of poor, lower class, disgruntled white people who are, mad at the elites, and they really bought into the idea that Trump was going to get them back to work and, get them out of poverty. So they was up at that Capitol mad as hell. Hold on, let me pull up these. Why aren't the pictures showing up? Hold on, y'all. So, that's a lot of white women was out there looking like that. Looking all just, I mean, manly and just wrong. I said, "Look at this." Now imagine if this was the image of white women. Imagine if they supported this imagery of themselves. They would never have it. Hold on, I'm about to show y'all in a minute. Somebody said hillbilly Becky Warriors. Yeah, welfare Becky's exactly. Broadback Becky. Y'all have the best names. I swear my chat box is so lit. Y'all are so funny. Y'all roast so good. That is so funny. I don't know why these pictures aren't showing up though. My computer kind of ghetto, y'all. I'm about to get a new computer. Um, okay, I'm gonna share my screen. So yeah, do y'all see this Becky Warrior? Look at this bitch. This, I mean, give her a name. I can't even think of a name. I don't even know. I don't even know of a good name. But this is the woman who snatched Berlinda's wig off after the Trump rally in LA. Somebody said, "Wilder Becky, I'm done." Bro- Brokeback Mountain. Oh God. I can't take y'all. Oh my God. This is the woman who snatched her wig off. And I'm going to show you. Did I get her? Here it is. They snatched her wig off, and I have another picture where the wig was in her hand. Yeah, they pepper sprayed her. Here's a picture of her, them helping her wipe her eyes out. Um, and here's a picture of one of the ones. Yeah, this was the girl she was holding. Look at this. What should we name her? Somebody said Jeffrey's twin. So yeah, she did. She does look like Jeffree Star, huh? Somebody said who snatched her eyebrows out. Now this should be Broadback Becky. I think that this should be her name. This is a perfect name for this one. But yeah, these were the women who stormed the Capitol. The white women who stormed the Capitol. Look at how they look. Very masculine. And nothing's wrong with it. I'm not saying that anything's wrong with it before y'all start saying, what's wrong with masculine women? Nothing's wrong with being masculine at all. But I'm just saying, note how this would never be the imagery of white women as a whole. And let me get this other picture too, because I'm sorry, y'all. I should have prepared. I should have been more prepared, but I honestly didn't think I was really going to go into this part. But let me just get the rest of these pictures really quick. Um, Cause I mean, I have to bring the point home. Hold on real quick. because there was a man there, and I know y'all saw him, white man, redhead, uh he had a beard, and he was, holding this woman from behind. And at first she said, he was trying to help her, he was trying to get her to safety and get her out of the situation. But then she later came back and was like, "Oh, well, I don't think he was trying to help." So I think she's a little bit confused on who helped her out of the situation and who didn't. I can't say, I don't know if it was him or, other people that were there. Okay. Okay, let me share my screen again. Yeah, so this is him. I don't know if he is the one who helped her. I don't know. And I'm just glad that they didn't end up killing her. I'm glad she got away. And look, y'all, I don't want you to think, get mad at me on what I'm about to say, because I know how y'all are. Yeah, this is after they pulled her wig off. So they, were trying to, that white woman was trying to humiliate her and embarrass her, obviously by pulling her wig off. And, it's just, this is why I say, you guys think we're hiding our self-hate from the world. And I'm not saying all of us hate our hair and that's why we wear wigs. But, a lot of people know, a lot of people can tell that that's a soft spot for us. And I think that, and it really kind of is embarrassing, to be honest with you. If a Becky who looks like this has the nerve, has the audacity to pull off your wig as if to say, "Oh, bitch, you bald headed. You got my hair on your head." Because I think that's probably why she did it. Trying to be funny, trying to humiliate her. It's a damn shame when you got women who look like this who think they can humiliate black women. Really, really. It's bad out here if that's the case, y'all. It's real bad out here. I mean, these white women are so entitled at this point. Yeah, the nerve. Like they're so entitled at this point to think that they can really, make you feel it. And that's why I see, this is why I don't like that straight weave shit. I don't want to give them any reason to think I want to look like them. When I walk out the house, you don't see nothing on me that looks anything close to a white bitch. Nothing. From head to toe. Nothing. They looking at me like, who she thinks she is? Oh, because I walk in all my blackness, honey. Hair be nappy as fuck, skin dark as fuck, pretty as fuck, thick as fuck, booty big as fuck. Hi, how are you? And I'm articulate when I need to be. No, ma'am. You're not gonna look like this and think you about to humiliate me, bitch. Really? No. I am just appalled. I'm appalled. But yeah, they snatched her wig off, and this is them putting eye drops in her eye because they pepper sprayed her. This is Berlinda. And I mean, she really thought. I mean, because this is not an ugly black woman. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see where. I thought I had the picture of when she had her wig on, but you can tell she's a pretty black woman. She looked way better than. What did y'all call her? Jeffree Star's sister, Brokeback Mountain. She looked way better than her. But like I was saying, now I gotta find the picture with the wig. Oh, this is the white girl who, yeah, this is Big Back Becky who took her wig off and she was showing it off and flaunting it around. This is why I said, like, I feel like black women, y'all shouldn't give them nothing. Don't give them nothing. Like, I just, that's how I feel. Y'all be saying I'm too competitive, but no, fuck that. I don't want you to ever believe that I want to be you. Ever. Yeah, here's the picture. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so unprepared. I'm so sorry. I'm usually more prepared than this. I usually have my shit together, but y'all gotta give me a sec. You know my year started off terrible. So I'm not, I'm still getting my life together and picking up the pieces of my life, my love life, child. So, y'all got to give me a second. Okay. Which by the way, we are in a better place. We are in a much better place. Um and we're going to go to therapy. So, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. So, let me pull up this other picture. Oh, see, I thought, where is it? Okay. Yeah, see, this is Brokeback Mountain pulling off this young lady's wig. Okay, somebody donated checks in the city. That's what most white women, even those hyped up in media, look like without makeup, surgery, and extensions. Basic beauty at best. I agree. They're most of them are average at best. That is very true. Yeah, don't celebrate yet, y'all. I didn't take him back. He's still in the doghouse. Okay, he got to get some stuff together. He's a good man, y'all. Though he is. But you know me, I don't stay around for too long, so better get it together quick, quick. Because us sage women, us coquette women, we got options. We got options. Hit the wall and everything. We snatching off her wig, trying to embarrass this black woman. This her right here. The ladies, I think that, and here, okay, here's what I would have done, right? Y'all gonna get mad at me when I say this, but and I don't think this woman deserved to get jumped or harassed by these people because she didn't do anything wrong. She didn't put her hands on anybody. She didn't do any. I wouldn't have engaged with these Trump supporters at all. I would have gotten away from them as quickly as possible, crossed the street, did something, and I would have recognized that I was. I think that this goes back to black women feeding into this strong black woman conditioning that we're given literally at birth. We're raised with this kind of conditioning and indoctrination. I've talked about this several times. We feed into this princess warrior, Wakandan warrior archetype so much that we don't know when to stand down, and we don't realize when we're in danger, and we don't realize when it might not be a good time to react even when you're in the right. And I think black women, I think we really need to get over this need to, not look like a punk, because that's a black culture thing too, where it's like, oh, if we walk away, we a punk. Fuck that. Be a punk sometimes. Pick and choose your battles wisely, especially if you're not prepared. Because some of these, far right extremists are crazy, y'all. They're crazy. You don't want to get caught up with that. Now, just maybe her on her own, because if they pulling that hair and they got to pepper spray somebody, most likely on a one-on-one, you can probably get them. You can probably beat their ass, but because they don't play fair though. They don't play fair. So if you're not strapped up, if you ain't ready to, pull something out on them, then you might want to cross the street and just walk away. Somebody said looking like Bruce Jenner. I'm done. I can't. I can't. I mean, and I'm just gonna be honest. And you can call me a punk, you can call me, a wannabe white girl, but these bitches is harder than me. These bitches look like they done been to jail and everything. I don't know. I don't have tattoos. I don't have none of this. I mean, these bitches look like, they done did some time. I don't know. These are some masculine ass white women. You know? I can't relate. This is a woman that was killed. So I ain't really trying to fight with these hoes. I don't have time to be fighting with these crazy white hoes. I don't. Y'all like to say rest in my femininity. I like to rest in my femininity. I don't deal with these masculine hoes. These bitches pins look rough in the face and around the edges. You know what I'm saying? They looking real bad. They look like they done been through some things. They look like they've been through the struggle. Yeah, I don't fight. I don't like to fight either, honey. Cora Franklin, did you see the two black men standing there in the back? Yes. Was that on this picture? I did see that. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on. Yes. Look, look. Y'all, see, this is why you need to stay home. Hashtag black women stay home. Look, 1, 2, ain't nobody doing nothing. Is he black? Is he black? Is that a black man? Telling you, you gotta walk the other way. You can't win up against this. Can y'all stop talking about Discord? And see, this is why I will continue to stress the importance of black women carrying self-defense items, whether it be a firearm, pepper spray, or whatever. After of course educating yourself with the laws in your state, you need to find out what's legal for you to carry, because I predict this is going to get crazier, you guys. People died. People died at this pro-Trump insurrection. 5 people died, right? Is that correct? Including that white woman I showed you. And again, they're making a martyr out of her. They're going to come back and retaliate for that. She was another one of these aggressive, masculine, ghetto, thug ass white women, literally trying to jump her dumb ass through a broken window at the Capitol building. And she was shot in the neck. And I don't know, did you guys answer me? Is she the one that got shot by a black cop? Look, and I'm like, did they not? I know they look, because he looks like he sees what's going on. He looks like he's looking at her. And this one, I don't know, he looked like he got one eye on her. So yeah, I mean, you can't even count on these men to, jump in and try to help you. You are alone, black women. You have no protection. You don't. And it's a sad situation, but hashtag stay home, black women. Stay home. And in this case, she was walking home, so I can't charge her with, um being at the rally or anything, but she did do a little too much. And again, I don't think she was wrong. She didn't put her hands on anybody. Flipping somebody off and recording somebody, that's not putting your hands on somebody. That's not a threat to anybody. So I don't think she did anything wrong per se, but that's not how I would have handled it. You have to pick and choose your battles. Somebody said that's probably his wifey. I'm done. You said one of these black. I can't. Oh my God. Somebody said that Naker wasn't gonna help. Of course not. And listen, I'm not saying that because I have seen black men at Black Lives Matter take a you know maybe not a bullet, but I've seen them taking a cut to the face or a punch to the face for the women that they're there with, or for whatever. But that's usually on an individual basis. Like, of course, I have men in my life to protect me individually, but can you really, black women, can you be out in public and count on um just a random black man who you don't know to protect you? Usually not. Maybe sometimes. Sometimes they'll stand in the gap for you. I've had that happen a couple times. I can't say I've never had it happen. Um, but you can't count on that. You can't bet on that. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to move s- smart, black women. You just have to move smart. Yeah, because you just never know. You can't count on these dudes. You really can't. And there were black men there, black women there. It's not just white people that was there, but you're on your own. You're on your own, black women. Nobody's going to save you but you. So you have to move smart. And unfortunately, there's just not a lot of room for error. And I know that's not fair, but it is what it is. And again, I read an article about this where they were saying that the far right extremists are using this white woman's death as their recruiting tool and to inspire further action. So this is not over. These low class, poor, and working class people, they're angry. White people, they're angry. It's not just white people, but it's a lot of white people because again, they're out of work, they're struggling. And even though it's the elite white people they're mad at, they're going to take most of their frustrations out on black people. They are going to, a lot of their frustrations they're going to take out on black people. And I believe, this is just me, I'm not trying to scare you when I say this, but I believe that they're going to try to retaliate against black women specifically for this white woman getting shot at the Capitol. So I think that the black woman listening to me right now, you need to keep that in mind, and you need to refrain from going to any protests or marches that happen this year, because something's going to happen to make y'all want to go out and protest. Something's going to happen. It always does. But again, you need to pick and choose your battles wisely. You need to stay home because you might be faced with these angry white people and you don't want to get caught off guard. And before I go, let's just circle back around to these big burly masculine white women, because there's some points I want to make about this. Um, I want to talk about these. Did I say white women or black women? I meant to say white women if I said black women. I want to talk about these burly white women that stormed the Capitol. One of your members just said, "You alone, you need mental help." Who was it? Text in the city says, "Be a punk Keisha when you see these protests going on. Stay safe, black women." Exactly. Punk Keisha. Y'all need to normalize being a punk sometimes. Because, this same community that's calling you a punk, are they going to jump in and take a bullet for you? You see, they just going to stand around and let you get fucked up. So what does it matter if they think you're a punk? Somebody said, you meant white men. Yeah, because she is rough looking. This is crazy. But there are just a few some important things I think we should note about this. One, and I touched on it earlier, but notice how most white women and white men are not upholding these masculine white women like this as the standard of women in their community. And again, in fact, they're upholding these women as these delicate, feminine flowers who, you know, it's like they didn't even storm the Capitol building. It's like you didn't see them climbing up the building, trying to jump through the broken glass. And I read an article where they said the Trumpsters referred to what's her name? The woman who died. I forgot the woman's name. What's her name? Ashley Babbitt. Okay. Her, this woman. In the article I read, they were calling her, they said the Trumpsters referred to her as a beautiful martyr and an innocent girl who only wanted a fair election. And they actually said that women are the tools that soften the edges of the far right. So, do you see how even when these women are acting extremely manly, extremely masculine on the front lines, they still see them as feminine women? They still see them as soft women that need to be protected. Pull up this article for you so I can show you that I'm not bullshitting, because like when I read this, I was like, wow. Because I know I bookmarked it, so I should be able to find it quickly. Um, yeah, Time Magazine. Here's the article. It says, "Our first martyr: How Ashley Babbitt is being turned into a far right recruiting tool." And see how they use the black woman hashtag, say her name, just disrespectful. Oh, the locker, thank you. I sent a $50 super chat with an important message. There was a glitch so it didn't show. Enjoy the free $50. Am sending it again. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't see it. Sorry about that. Yeah, she was acting like a thug and a wild animal. Y'all can't see this? Oh, wait. Sorry. I don't know how I stopped sharing the screen. Okay, can y'all see it now? What do y'all mean? Y'all still can't see it? It's right here. It's not on the screen? Let me see. Y'all see it now? This is it. This is the article. I'm looking at it on my end. Okay, good. Y'all see it. Trying to find where I saw this at. Wednesday, social material years for years, recruiting new individuals. Yeah, look at this. She's been held since the riot as a freedom fighter, the first victim of the second civil war. So, yeah, they're turning her into a martyr. Look, this beautiful young woman who was executed will be remembered as a martyr. One user wrote on a pro Trump board. Another post was titled, "Innocent Girl Only Wanted Free and Fair Elections." Look at this one. One poster vowed, "Your blood will not be in vain. We will avenge you." That means they are going to retaliate, you guys. Wait, my audio is going in and out. Can you guys understand me? What's the last thing you heard me say? Yeah, innocent. They're calling her innocent. I'll just read this over again. Hopefully you guys can hear me. The beautiful young woman who was executed will be remembered as a martyr, one user wrote on a pro Trump board. Another post was titled, Innocent Girl Only Wanted Free and Fair Elections. And then it says, one poster vowed, Your blood will not be in vain. We will avenge you. So again, this means that they plan to retaliate. This means they plan to retaliate. So when y'all sit up there and say, oh, well, they had these white women on the front lines and those men did not protect her, wait and see what happens. Wait and see what happens. That's why y'all better strap up. And this was a woman. So I would not be surprised if they try to retaliate against black women, a black woman. So y'all need to stay ready. And I'm not trying to scare you when I say that. This is where it says women are tools that soften the edges of the far right, says Sayward Darby, a journalist who researches the role of women in white nationalist movements. For many of these groups, a white woman who is harmed or killed is the most powerful galvanizing force, Darby says. Do you guys understand what this means? They had been talking about how it's a matter of life or death, but now they have an example. Are you a patriot? Are you a man? Avenge her death. These men are willing to die for their women. That is the difference. When you start talking about the front lines and how they had them on the front line, these men are about to go out there and die for this woman in her honor. They're going to die for her. Yazzie B says, what do black women have to do with this? This is not our fight, but did you just hear what I said? If they're talking about retaliating, who do you think they're gonna get first? Like, yeah, they might go after other white people too, but they're gonna retaliate because of racism, because of systemic racism, because they've been socialized to hate black people, even though, you know, we're not taking their power away. We're not keeping them at the bottom. Other white people are, but they're going to be mad at us. They're going to take it out on us. That's what we have to do with it. They might come at you because you a black woman. Oh, they got one of my women, so I'm going to get one of theirs. Are you slow? Do you not understand how this can happen? How black women can be involved in this, especially if you take your ass out there on the front lines. Yeah, they don't play about their Karens or Beckys. And guess what? They don't play about them even when they look like this. Even when they masculine like this. They still gonna die for him. Yeah, right. Because they think black people helped Biden. And we did help him get in office. We did. We did. That's not a lie. So yeah, they're mad at us too. Please believe. The Locker One, thank you. I'm glad you mentioned this. In DC, there was a gorgeous dark-skinned woman who wanted to organize a armed counterforce to defend the Capitol. I'm glad myself as a black man and others convinced this woman not to go. She and others will be hurt. See, you know, I think I heard about that because she was on Twitter and she deleted her tweet and she said she wanted to organize something. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all be jumping into this princess warrior mode, and I'm not altogether blaming you because this is how you were conditioned. Right? So it's not all of your fault. Yeah. They're protecting their masculine bitches, their old bitches, all of that. The bitches that didn't hit the wall, they protecting all these hoes. The bitches who got body full of tattoos, yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, there's levels to it. They're not the most protected, right? It's not like that you can compare them to them suburban white women, but they're still protected. Avenge her death. This is a veteran. This was a veteran, a woman who was struggling. She wasn't no suburban housewife. She was a regular schmegular working class, you know, white woman. And the other women were. They were regular schmegular white women. So when you talk about, oh well, what's the difference? They had them on the front lines too. It ain't the same. And you know it. It's not the same. They got different men, boo boo, and we all know it. Let's just be honest here. But, my point is they're not going to allow, and see, this is what I'm saying. It's a lot of white women out there who actually agree with because a lot of those suburban housewives also voted for Trump. Let's be clear. What is it, like 53% of white women voted for Trump? The second time, 53%, or was it 51 or something like that? It was at least 50%. So even though a lot of the white women weren't out there, you think I should put this on members only? Yeah, they might flag it down. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Um, because I wanted to leave this up so as many people could see it as possible. But my point is this: there are a lot of white women who agreed with what happened and just aren't saying anything. And don't get me wrong, I see a lot of white people, white liberals, like, condemning the pro-Trump people, and it's really divided. So it's not like I see like I don't see white women, like, dragging these people who stormed the Capitol, but there are a lot of white women who secretly and quietly agreed with what happened. And most white women will never say that, who even agree with it. Those little prissy, feminine, girly white women that stayed at home and rested in their femininity, they agreed with it, but they're not championing it. They're not promoting this as their representation, even though many of them may agree with these Trump supporters. They may even be living vicariously through, Brokeback Mountain. They may be living vicariously through this rough, masculine, thug ass bitch. They might be living vicariously through her. Because, white women do that with black women. Right? They live vicariously through the princess warriors, and they say, "Oh, you go, sister, you do that. You're strong and independent," and they would never go out there and do anything. They gonna keep their ass at home, but they gonna cheer you on. So a lot of the white women do this with other white women too, with these rough masculine bitches that have a little bit, more courage than them to do some shit like this. So be clear about that too. But the difference is they're not going to promote that. They're not going to co-sign that representation, not publicly. Right? See, and what I'm getting at here, black women, you need to take notes. They're not going to publicly co-sign what they feel makes them look bad. Do you get what I'm saying? They're not going to publicly co-sign that. They're not going to make that their entire identity. They're not going to do that. They want to keep the other part of their promotion. So this is the kind of shit I haven't heard anybody say this. So that's why I really wanted to come on and talk about this. Nobody is. I feel like y'all ain't peeping it like that. So you need to pay attention on what they publicly co-sign. And again, the masculine Becky warriors who fight for their country and their community, they're turned into martyrs. While Wakandan warriors, the black women who fight for their community, they're hashtags. They're merely hashtags. That's all we get. So you just remember that before you take your ass out there and try to jump through a broken window, some broken glass. like this Ashley Babbitt bitch did. And again, there are plenty of white people calling her idiot, saying she deserved what she got. I see that everywhere, right? But there will still be repercussions and retaliation for her death. That is the difference between your sacrifice and theirs. And again, it's not me saying that because of that, it was worth losing her life. I'm just pointing this out to you so you can know the difference. They have an entire system in place that benefits them way more than it does you. Again, they're not the top tier, top shelf white women or anything like that. They're not getting most of the benefits, granted, but they still getting more than you, though. They get more than you. So it makes more sense for them to be a princess warrior than you. That's my point here. Okay? So hashtag stay home, Black women. I'm going to leave it there. I got to make a phone call. Yeah. So I hope I made myself clear. Anything I forgot, because, again, this live was a little bit all over the place. I was not prepared. I will admit I was not prepared. But yeah, I think I got all the points that I wanted to make out and everything I peeped. Again, if there's anything I missed, then leave it down below. Hopefully they won't take this live down. If they flag it, I'm going to have to put it on members only because, I said a lot. So, and you know how this works. Anytime you say anything, you criticize white women, especially all of the videos that I've ever had flagged have been of me being critical of white women. No other, I can be critical of Black men. I can be critical of Black women. They don't care about that. But as soon as I get on these white hoes, as soon as I get on Becky's and Karen's, they want to start flagging videos. So we'll see what happens. But you know what happened if this video disappears. Okay. So yeah, be safe, Black women. Stay home. Get a firearm. Get some self-defense items and protect yourself, please, because this is not over. This is not over. Yes, it was between white people, but they can definitely interject us in here somehow because these motherfuckers is racist and they crazy. So yeah. Love you guys. I got some more videos coming for you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support.